Greetings, loved ones. Today we're going to talk about physical abuse of children and what are the signs and what you should do if you suspect abuse. Help us get these messages out. Please subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit the like button and the notification bell, and please share these messages with others. You could save a life. What is physical abuse of a child? Physical abuse is an injury deliberately inflicted upon a child by any person, including adults. Physical abuse includes fractured or broken bones, burns, severe and or frequent bruises, and any other intentionally inflicted physical harm, and sometimes harm that comes unintentionally from discipline or other actions. How do you recognize physical abuse? Physical abuse is usually identified by physical marks on the child's body, but children can also suffer emotional damage from abuse. So here is a list that describes physical signs you may notice as well as emotional signs. Physical signs: bruises, welts on the face, neck, chest, and back. Injuries in the shape of an object, a belt or a cord. Unexplained burns on the palms, soles of the feet, or on the back. Fractures that do not fit the story of how an injury occurred. Delay in seeking medical help. So here are some emotional signs of physical abuse. They could be extremes in behavior where the child is very aggressive or withdrawn and shy. The child is afraid to go home. The child is frightened of their parents. The child is fearful of other adults. So what should you do if you suspect a child is being physically abused? Any kind of child abuse is against the law and has serious effects on victims. If you suspect that a child is being abused, call your local Child Protective Services agency or call the Childhelp National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4-CHILD. We'll have that information in the description of this video. Stopping abuse helps the child heal faster and reduces the long-term effects of the abuse on the child. Remember, when a child tells you about abuse, he or she is being very brave and is looking to you for help. When a child tells you that he or she is being abused, you should do these following things. Avoid denial and remain calm. A common reaction to news as disturbing as child abuse is denial. However, if you display denial to a child or show shock or disgust at what they are saying, the child may be afraid to continue and will shut down. As hard as it may be, remain as calm and reassuring as you can. And don't interrogate. Let the child explain to you in his or her own words what happened, but don't interrogate the child or ask leading questions. This may confuse and fluster the child and make it harder for them to continue their story. You also need to reassure the child that they did nothing wrong. It takes a lot of courage for a child to come forward about abuse. Reassure them that you take what is said seriously and that it is not the child's fault. You can call your local Child Protective Services agency. It is better that you do not handle the situation on your own. Call the Childhelp National Child Abuse Hotline at 1-800-4-CHILD. Again, we'll have that in the description. So how can you help a child recover from the trauma of physical abuse? You can help a child optimism by reinforcing the good experiences the child has had and make plans for fun activities. You can build the child's self-esteem by calling him or her by telling them when they've done a good job and how special they are. You can encourage the child to explore the things that they're good at, whether it is schoolwork, artistic talent, or athletic ability. And you can laugh with the child to help them develop a sense of humor. Give the child age-appropriate chores and responsibilities to develop independence and show your trust. And let the child know they can talk to you. You need to write down and explain rules and be consistent and never use or threaten to use violence. According to the CDC, over half of all children in the world, that's 1 billion children ages 2 to 17, experience violence every year. The question is not if you'll encounter a victim of violence. The question before God is, what will you do when you do encounter them? You could be the person who saves a life. Micah 6:8 says, He has showed you, O man, what is good. And what does the Lord require of you? But to do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with your God. You are called We are all called to be champions for justice. And if you're a victim of violence, I want you to know that you are valued, you are loved, you are intelligent, you are worthy. I want you to know there is a way out. You don't need to stay in the abuse, and it's not your fault. Abuse is not love, and you are not alone. If you are suffering violence, please reach out to someone today. If you find yourself in a dangerous situation, call 911 for help. If you know of a child or other person suffering violence, tell the authorities. In our next episode, we're going to talk about effects of child physical abuse. Until then, God bless you.